Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We're streaming. We're on a couple different platforms. We're talking about Claude Code and how you can start building your business using these tools. So, we're trying out a new format. We've done this actually in the past years ago. We're going to be building this series Build With Me and just showing you new technology and what we're going to be doing. So, if you're new to this, if you're interested in Claude Code, let me know in the chat down below. What are you trying to build? What are you doing tonight? And we're going to be looking at Claude Co-work and what we're going to be having in store. So we're going to switch over, and then also too, let me know if you have any questions. If you're building for the first time using Claude Co-work, if you have questions, all those kind of things. So bottom line, what is Claude Co-work? If you've used something like ChatGPT where you have asking questions and you have projects, imagine that just on steroids. So you're giving it more power, you're giving it access to basically the folders that you want, and you can start building. So tonight what we're doing is we're talking about how to use Claude Code for business. We're going to be looking at how to use it for strategy for content, and then also building out our strategy when we're getting ready to start using something called OpenClaw. So we're going to go into all of that tonight. And if you like this stuff, we're going to be doing this every single week. So make sure that you like and subscribe. And let's get right into it. And let people know if you're interested or you want other people to know about this and to build alongside us. Let us know, and we'll have them on the program or answer your questions as we go through this. Let me know if the music is too loud too. All right, so let's get right into it. Let me turn it down just a smidge. Let me know if that's a good volume right there. All right, so let's get right into it. If you have questions, let me know and we can put it, answer all of your questions. So let's go here. So right now we're going to start building out a list, and we're going to look at how we can start looking at the strategy of creating content and working on those hooks. So let's go right here. I'm going to be putting in a new, there we go, folder. And what I'm going to say is, let's get started with working on all of the strategies for building out our content creation process. As it's doing that, let me make sure we look at our scheduled tools. See, and then it's showing that we're doing this with Launch Labs. The other folder, so we're going to look at that later. Sure, we can dial that in. All right. So right here it's saying, I'd love to help you build out your content creation process. Before diving in, let me make sure I understand the scope of what you're looking for. What aspect of content creation process would you like to start with? Full strategy from scratch, map out the entire content workflow end-to-end, content and calendar planning, production workflow, distribution, repurposing, something more specific. What we're going to do is start working on the process of creating topics for YouTube videos. So let's type this in. The process of creating engaging YouTube videos, and the process of looking at the right kind of ideas and titles and format for the video. We'll put that in. So now we're looking at this for a moment. Just going to start working on that. And what we're going to do is basically we're basing it off of a great book called Contagious, Why Things Catch On. So we're going to be working on that as well. And I might, as this is going, I might be getting a summary and use Gemini at the same time. Okay, what would be most useful? A let's see, a written strategy guide, a working spreadsheet, both. Okay, just walk me through it conversationally for now. See, also, is this for the Launch Labs Brand Factory channel? Yes, it is for that channel. There we go. Let's go with option 4. Walk me through it. I also have a reference of a book or the methodology I want to consider as well, if you want me to provide the information. What I really like about this is there's a lot of different ways that you can use Claude Cowork that works with your own style, and that's what I really like. Okay, yes, share it, whether it's a book title, framework name, notes. The more context, methodology, the better. Okay. Great. Book titled. So I'm just giving it the title of the book, and then the author. Written by Jonah Berger. And then what I'm going to do is also mention I want the methodologies. And I'm going to say the 6 key principles. Let's go. Make sure you focus on the 6 main principles found in the book. Okay, so I was thinking about this right here. Awesome. It's one of the best frameworks because Jonah Berger's 6 steps principles aren't about why things go viral. They're a blueprint for creating content that feels compelling. So here are the 6. It says social currency, make viewers feel like insiders. The core idea, people share things that make them look smart, ahead of the curve, or all in the know. For an AI automation, this is arguably your biggest asset. For ideas, this means leaning into content like AI tools most people haven't heard of yet. For titles, phrases like before everyone else, most people don't know this. The AI trick nobody talks about. Cool. Triggers, connect your content to things people encounter daily. Berger's insight here is that ideas spread when they're linked to everyday cues, things that remind people of your content even when they're not watching. The classic example is the peanut butter triggers jelly. For ideas, think about what your audience runs into every day, runs into every single workday. Emails, repetitive tasks, Slack messages, spreadsheets, client reports. Every one of those is a trigger opportunity. A video called How I Handle My Inbox with AI hits someone every Monday morning when they're dreading their inbox. For titles, anchor the title to a specific recurring moment. Every time you do X, try this instead. That is a trigger based on title. That trigger-based title structure works really well in your space. For format, Day in the Life with AI or How I Use AI for blank formats are powerful because they're tied to things the viewer does constantly. Every time they do that task, they'll think of your video. Interesting. Okay, next. Yeah, we'll go through these. Yeah, that's not a problem. Let me know in the chat if you want it, for your own format, but I really think using this formula of finding something that works for your audience or finding a format and then tie it to your methodology that you like, such as contagious or something. Yeah, great question. Great question. Number 3, emotion. High arousal drives sharing. Berger found that high arousal emotions, awe, excitement, anxiety, inspiration, drastically increases sharing. Low arousal information like contentment does not. For AI content, you have a natural tension to work with, excitement about possibilities, and genuine anxiety about what's changing. Okay. For ideas, lean into the emotional extremes. This AI did something that genuinely surprised me. Taps awe. What happens to job type in the next 2 years? Taps productive anxiety. Both drive engagement. For titles, emotional language matters. This blew my mind. I wasn't expecting this. This changes everything about how I work. These aren't clickbait if the video actually delivers. For format, reaction style videos, honest. I tried this and here's what actually happened. Formats and before and after transformation videos all carry emotional weight. Authenticity amplifies emotion. If you're genuinely impressed or surprised, that comes through. Okay. Next, public. And let me know if you have questions or if this makes sense but the main reason we're looking at this is I'm looking to create a repeatable content process for myself, because testing all of these things and trying to think about new ideas, it can be really stressful. And so I decided to use Claude Code work to start with the content creation in general. I want to do with the content of creating videos and then also creating emails too. Now it mentions public. Number 4, public. If it's built to show, it's built to grow. Things spread when they're visible and observable. Kind of like I think about it would be build in public, kind of. For YouTube, this principle is about creating content that people feel comfortable sharing in public context, in a Slack channel, on LinkedIn, in a team meeting. For ideas, think about content that's safe and impressive to share at work. A video showing how to automate a specific business workflow is something a manager will forward to their team. That's built-in distribution. For titles, reference tools and platforms people already use publicly. How I automated my entire process in Notion /Zapier /ChatGPT. Similar tools lower the barrier to sharing because the viewer's network already knows the context. For format, on-screen walkthroughs and live demos are the strongest format here. When someone can clearly see the process and outcome, they're much more likely to share it as a recommendation. Yeah, I like that. Right there, I think I'll write down some of my notes, but I think number 4, public. I think examples would be how I automated my entire, email process in Google Workspace. And I'll work on that. Or how I got to inbox 0. Yeah, I'll write that down. Because I think the new Google, what is it called? They keep changing the name, but basically Google Flows that allows you to, basically it searches your inbox and gives you a summary and making sure you didn't miss anything important. And then how to respond. That was probably the most genuinely helpful thing that I have that I use every morning. Okay, let's see. Practical value. News people can actually use. This is the useful information gets shared principle. People forward things when they think this will genuinely help someone I know. For your channel, this is your bread and butter. For ideas, the most shareable videos solve a specific concrete problem. Not AI for productivity broadly, but how to cut your weekly reporting time in half using AI. Specificity is what makes it feel truly useful. Okay. For titles, numbers, and outcomes are extremely well. Here, save 3 hours a week, 5 AI workflows that actually work, the exact prompt I use for X, These signal clear, measurable, valuable upfront. I like it. For format, step-by-step tutorials with a repeatable system are the gold standard. The magic phrase for Launch Labs is copy this exact workflow. It signals that the viewer can take what they see and immediately apply it. I like that. All right, next portion. It says stories. Information travels inside a narrative. Berger's final principle: stories are Trojan horses. The information is the payload, but the story is what carries it past people's defenses and make it memorable. The story also gives viewers something to retell, which is how your ideas spread beyond the people who watched. For ideas, personal transformation and case study formats are ideal. I spent 30 days replacing my VA with AI. Here's what happened is a story with a built-in art. Case studies are real businesses. Businesses work the same way. For titles, narrative hooks are powerful. I tried X for 30 days. How change happened in my business, why I stopped using X tool, and what I used instead. These promise a story, not just information. For format, structure every video with a clear beginning, the problem or attention, middle, and then end, the outcome. Even a pure tutorial becomes more watchable when there's here's why this matters to you, opening, and here's the difference it's made, close. Okay, so that's the full thing mapped out. The most important takeaway is the strongest videos will help multiply principles at once. A video that practical triggers emotion and wraps everything dramatically outperforms one that's just informative. Want me to start applying this? We could work through generating actual video ideas using these filters, or build a title formula system based on these principles, whichever feels more useful. I'm going to go with video ideas and then going into titles. I love this. So this is an example of, instead of chat where I'm going through, hey, build or ask these questions, going back and forth, this not only is a thought partner, but then it can start building out tasks when I'm going to be doing, daily, weekly, and all of those things. Let me know in the comment section if that makes sense as we're going through this. And if you have any questions or examples you want to use Claude Co-work with, we can talk about that too. So let's go through this. I'm going to first go with ideas, and then I'm going to go into title formulas. And then we'll start adding like skills and things like that. Let's first go into generating video ideas using these filters. And what I think I want to do is I want to start coming up with video. Let's see. We need to create a skill to create video ideas based on news, notes, and links to articles. And then what we need to do is a skill to create compelling videos. And then from there, we can work on hooks and everything like that. Okay, your pillow. Let's see. Let's go. Okay, it says, great. Let's make this practical. The way I want it to walk you through this is 3 steps. First, establish your topic pillars, then run them through the steps filter to generate specific ideas, and finally show you how to spot the highest value ideas, the ones that stack multiple principles at once. Okay, that's good to see. All right, let's take a look at this. So step 1, your topic pillars. And what we're doing here is we're prepping everything to go through to answer these questions and then to create skills. And what skills are basically would be how Claude Co-work is going to be able to just like use a skill, like a skill that you learn in a video game, to then create an output that we want, create a result that we want. So let's take a look. Step 1, your topic pillars. For Launch Labs, your content naturally falls into a few core buckets. These are the raw materials. So AI, tools and software, what's out there, reviews, automation workflows, how to connect tools, content creation with AI, business operations and agency life, AI news and trends. Keep these in mind as we go through each filter, because steps doesn't change what you talk about, it changes how you frame it. Okay, cool. So step 2, running topic pillars through each filter. Social currency lens. Ask yourself, will watching this make my viewer feel smarter or more ahead of the curve than their peers? Strong ideas this generates. AI tools. Let's see. AI tools serious marketers are using that aren't ChatGPT. Okay, that's interesting. The phrase serious marketers signals exclusivity. I got early access to new tool. Here's what it actually does. Early access insider status. The library I've built over 6 months and how to use it. You're handing over something earned, not just information. I like that. Trigger lens. What does your viewer encounter every week that your video could attach it to? Strong ideas. Every time you write a client proposal, do this instead. Oh, I like that. The Monday AI routine that changes how your whole week goes. What to do with AI the next time you get a new client. I like these. These really, this speaks to me. Okay. These are very good, actually. Where was I? Strong, emotional, public. Ask yourself, is this kind of video someone would confidently share with their team or post on LinkedIn? Strong ideas. How to automate your entire client onboarding with AI. The AI workflow I showed at a conference that got the most questions. How the specific business type, agency, consultant, can cut costs with AI right now. The next one, practical lens. Can my viewer immediately do something with what they learned? The exact prompts I use for every client deliverable. 5 AI automations you can set up in under an hour. Time bound. How I cut my content production time by 70% using one workflow. Interesting. Story lens. Is there a real journey, tension, transformation here that carries information? I automated my entire agency in 30 days. Here's what actually happened. Classic journey from format with honest outcome. The AI mistake that cost me time and how I fixed it. From overwhelmed to automated, how I rebuilt the way I work. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Spotting your highest value ideas. The real power moves is identifying ideas that stack 3 or more principles. These are your best. They're more compelling, more shareable. Here's a stacked example. I tried replacing my content team with AI in 30 days. Here's what happened. Hits, story, emotion, and practical value, and social currency. It's a journey with stakes. It creates curiosity, mild anxiety, and delivers real lessons. And finishing it makes you feel like an insider. Copy my exact AI workflow for client reporting. Saves me 4 hours a week. I like that. The AI tool I wish I knew about a year ago. Interesting. A good rule of thumb before committing to a video idea, quickly run it through the steps checklist and aim for a minimum of 3 hits. If it only has 1 or 2, reframe it. So want to now take a handful of raw ideas and turn it into actual title formulas. That's where the step principle becomes really concrete, because the title is often the difference between a great idea that no one clicks and one that takes off. Okay, cool. I like that. We're going to add one more thing, and I'm going to shout out to Rachel from X-Ray Tech. She has a great walkthrough on how to do this for creating a skill. So I'm going to do that right now. Let's change some things up real quick. And I'm going to look at this real quick and add it in. Okay, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look. So first, map out your workflow. Let's do this. I like this so far. What I want to do is create a skill that allows me to take these ideas and be able to run it through the checklist to have a minimum of 3 hits, and then be able to rank my ideas for which ones I should pursue, even before we create a title. Now let's do this. I want to map out my workflow and tell you more about the context before you create the skill. Let's do that. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm giving it a bunch of context, and I'm building the structure even before it's just building out the skill right away. I'm telling it what I'm looking for, and then we're going to be, dialing it in a little bit more. So let's see about this. And then it says paste the Mad Lib into Claude, watch it break it down, paste your Claude outputs a detailed workflow, and then review the steps, ask the step for which step is the best candidate for a skill. That's great. So let's give it some more information. I am in the marketing department for Launch Labs for the YouTube channel. And then I'm going to answer what I do. I help with coming up with the right kind of ideas or angle for the YouTube videos that will be the most practical for our target audience, or ICP. Is it ICP or ISP? ICP, I think it is. Let me define what an ICP is. I think it's an ICP. Yeah, ideal customer profile. All these acronyms, I forget sometimes. There we go. Let's go more. My pain point is trying to find the best idea for an upcoming YouTube video that aligns with my ICP. I'm going to say example. Creating a top 5 of the best ideas to create our next video. I'm going to say steps I take are look at past comments from best performing videos. Look at what's topical found on X or Twitter and what people are talking about on LinkedIn. Write down Doc's own process or projects that he's working on. Review what clients or students are having trouble with. Okay, so we have that. We're breaking that down. And the next part is paste it, review the steps. Let's take a look. Let's put this in. And I'm going to take out the part, make it a skill. No, I'm going to say that before making a skill. Yeah. Now, what am I going to ask it? I'm going to say this. Which one would be best? It says this is a well-defined workflow. The fact that you have 4 clear input sources plus scoring system makes this a buildable skill. Let me invoke the skill creator to build. I'm going to say wait. Which step? Let's do that. Before it starts doing it, let's see about this. gonna have it think about it before it does it. Copying just some of my notes right here. See if it's thinking. Is it thinking? Yeah, it's thinking. Skill creator skill has loaded. Now I have a clear picture, process, source, blah, blah, blah. When the user shares where the idea comes from, here are the factors. So it started doing it. It's a great question. Let me address that before writing anything. Look at your 4-step workflow. Step 3 and 4 together are the best candidates. Specifically the part where you already have a list of ideas. Okay. Docs on projects. What was 4? Review what clients are having trouble with. Yeah. Okay. I like that. Here's the skills job. You bring the ideas, the skill scores, and ranks them. That's the clean handoff. I like that. You do the human work of research and observation. Skill does the analytical heavy lifting. Makes sense? Want me to proceed with drafting that skill now? Great. Okay, so it thought about it before it did it. Great. Now, a skill is just it's just a how-to manual for Claude. Yeah. All right, now let's see. Copy this prompt, fill in your blanks. Help me create a skill that helps me create. I like that. Let's do. That's a handoff. Makes sense. Helps me create. Helps me score and rank all of the different ideas that I have for upcoming videos. I'm going to say videos, my notes, and links I provide you. So that's the skill. I'm going to, there we go. So a couple step process that we're going back and forth, seeing what the best one is, and then seeing what happened. Perfect. Let me build this out. I have everything I need from our conversation to write a strong first draft. Okay. Drafting skill, MD. So the progress, it says on the right-hand side, it says drafting the skill, write 3 realistic test cases, run test cases without skill in parallel, generate eval viewer for human review, refine skill based on feedback, package and deliver final skill file. That's very interesting. Very step-by-step process. I like it. Yeah, so the goal is to have a skill for filtering all the ideas quickly, and then the second one will be a skill of creating titles. Let's take a look. Let's see. It says perfect. Let me build this out. I have everything I need. Now let me write the 3 test cases. I'm making them as realistic as possible, mimicking exactly how you'd actually use this. Now launching all 6 running in parallel. Oh, interesting. Create evaluation script. Okay. Interesting. Writing the file. Very interesting. In the comment section as we're doing this and we're going through it, let me know if this makes sense, if this is helpful at all, or if you have more questions, let me know. But as you see, the whole purpose of it's definitely when we're doing like these sessions like build with me and everything, this is going to help me to produce more content, but really this is to help more people to use these tools better, and also myself. I think it's really important to like test it out and use real practical use cases instead of just letting it like just run amok. So the first part is like using Claude Cowork, see how we're doing this the best we can, and then starting to use Open Claude too for a couple of things. But we're going to do that more when I think either we're going to do that with a Raspberry Pi, or we're going to do that with probably an old Mac Mini coming up. All right, so it's writing all these things. Let's take a look. So that as this is going, I'm also going to check Micro Center, what a Mac Mini, like an M1 costs. Mac, what is this? Micro Center. That's right. Let's see, Mac Mini. M1. That one, or we'll get what do you call that? What is that called? A Raspberry Pi. That's right. What are we looking at here? Let me just check Amazon for the prices. Let's take a look. Okay. All 6 responses are saved. Now grading all runs in parallel. Interesting. So again, we're going to be doing this one first, and then we're going to do one more skill. And we'll do the same exact process. And then once we do it, then we'll be able to call on the skill, whenever we want to do this. Let's take a look. The Mac Minis Intel Core i5s are 229. 2023, the M2s are still a 1K. Not horrible, actually. They actually hold their value really well. But I think we can just do basically the same with the Raspberry Pi. 64-bit, right? Let's take a look. Raspberry Pi 5s. 64-bit. Yeah, let's see. Raspberry Pis are a little bit more expensive than I thought. I mean, just a little bit. They're 181. I think you can even do it with less than this, but still not bad. Not horrible. Not horrible. Oh, that's cool. The case for the Raspberry 5. It kind of looks like the old Nintendo one. That's a cool case. I do like that. Okay, I'm going to write that down. That exact one. Let me put that down. I'm going to put that down in my favorites. Okay, let me put that down. All right, what else we got? The review. Okay. So, interesting. With the prompt, with the skill, submit all reviews. Interesting. Review each output and leave feedback. Navigate. When done, copy feedback and paste into Claude. Let's see. Let's look at this for a second. Review the file. The review file is ready. Open it to see all the 3 cases side by side. Here's what the numbers showed before you even look at the outputs. With skill, 100% pass rate across all 3 test cases. Every assertion hits. Scorecards with all 6 principles. Ready for titles. Next prompt. Without skill, 72% baseline. The biggest gaps were that Claude without the skill have good general advice, but skipped the structure scorecards entirely. Didn't use numeric scores and didn't prompt the next steps. The viewer has 2 tabs. Outputs shows each test, so you can actually respond side by side. Benchmark shows a quantitative breakdown. Okay. When you're done reviewing, let me know what you would like to change, and I'll refine the skill, then package it up to a skill file. Let's take a look. Stories is fundamentally how to without inherent strong angle. Interesting. Five out of 6. Let's see. Top 5 released this month. Okay, those are the outputs. Okay. Response. Okay, cool. So I'm just looking at like the different ones right here. 3 out of 6, 5 out of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to say right here, when reviewing the following, I see this here. Let's see. So I'm going to say, it mentions it got a 5 out of 6 score, but when I'm looking at the explanation, the stories is checked off for story, but it still is getting a 5 out of 6 instead of 6 out of 6. Why the discrepancy? Okay, so let's take a look at this. Great catch. That's a real bug in the skills output. All 6 principles are marked, so the score should clearly be 6 out of 6, not 5 out of 6. The numbers don't add up. What's happening is the model is likely forming a score impression first, maybe subconsciously feeling that this is strong but not a perfect 5, and then filling the check marks to justify, rather than counting the actual hits. The fix is straightforward. I need to add an explicit instruction. Interesting right there. And see, this is why it's really good to review it. It's like, if you're just like, oh yeah, it looks all great, look at what it's doing. want me to rerun the test to confirm the fixes? Let's see. Before running it again, regarding, and I'm going to say top 5 ideas. Which one is the clear winner? And is there a clear definition or explanation why it's winning? I'm seeing that it's giving me a summary, but it is not telling me if why or if it's ranking number 1 relative to the other 4 suggestions to pursue. It says this is Doc's battle tested system, saving this one. Yeah, this is exactly right. That's a real gap. Right now, the top 5 just gives a mini description of each idea in isolation. It doesn't explain why 1 beats 2, especially when the 2 ideas might have the same score. There's no comparative reasoning, no tiebreaker explanation, no clear this is the strongest play. Let me fix that. And so these are the kind of things as you're going through it. Again, that's why I like where it's telling me to check it, do all of these things, but now it's going to be rerunning. Interesting. Okay. All right, let's take a look. So now it's rerunning the 3 test cases with patch skill to verify both fixes hold and the score consistently fix and the comparative ranking fix. And so again, it's almost like, so I saw someone give the analogy when you're trying to create agents or trying to create these skills that are going to be with agents or using these skills. It's kind of like, it's like with a new employee, you're just checking their work, you're giving explanations for them to see the benefits and then going from there. And that's what we're doing here. Okay, the results drastically are better. Look at evaluation 2, both the 30-day experiment and podcast system was 6 out of 6, and now explicitly names the tiebreaker. Loses the tiebreaker because it's framed as a playbook rather than an experiment with built-in drama. Let me save timing data. Okay, cool. And what I would probably do is, what I'm probably going to do too is if it doesn't have a story, give ideas how a story format could be a narrative with it. That's what I'm probably going to add one more, because that's going to package up for the title and everything for the framing of the whole thing. Okay, so we're seeing it's now grading all 3 iterations, 2 runs and generating an evaluation metadata in parallel. And again, if you have questions on it as it's thinking, you can always just, look at what's going on with the agent, what it's doing, all of those things. All right, so it says view data. Okay, so here's the full picture across both iterations. Iteration 1, before your feedback, 100%. After your fixes, 90.5 with skill on a harder set of 7 assertions, including the 2 new checks for comparative winner. 2 minor items worth flagging. Evaluation top 5 flag. The assertion expected is to be flagged as below threshold, but the skill legitimately scored it 3 out of 6, which is just above the cutoff. This is actually the skill working correctly. The assertion was slightly too aggressive, not a skill bug. Interesting. Item 2, evaluation 3, client reporting. The 42 like comment idea came in at number 3 instead of top 2. The skill ranked invoicing and newsletter automation above it as pure step score. The tiebreaker rules in the skill do say audience validated ideas should rank higher. This is something to watch, but it's a close call rather than a clear error. Okay. Neither are serious about blocking packages. You want me to go ahead and wrap it? Before we do, what I want is if there's an output of an idea that is lacking a story, there should be a way to give suggestions how the idea can have a stronger story structure if pursued. Okay, let's add it. That way we have to do, it's already going to tee us up. Good addition. Right now, the skill just marks stories as X and moves on. It should tell you exactly how to inject a narrative so you can decide whether to reframe the idea before pursuing it. Let me add that to the skill now. Cool. Because the whole thing is we need to have a story arc built in, or what's the point? Clean. The way it now works, every scorecard will show a story reframe line only when the story is marked X, and it will be specific to that idea, not a generic tip. So if top 5 AI tools released this month misses stories, it won't just say add a story. It'll say something like test these tools against a real client project and document what actually occurred. Now it's a personal experiment with stakes rather than a listicle. Okay, so it says want me to do one quick test. Yes. Run one quick test. Good times. So what time is it? It's almost 3 a.m. I'm on East Coast time. It's just about 3 a.m. I just, when I get in these modes, it's just hard to stop sometimes. But let me know where everyone is in the world watching. Maybe it's not 3 a.m. where you are watching. Okay, so it's running. All right. All right. That's exactly what we wanted. Look at the story reframes. Everyone is specific, not just generic. Okay, the script is trying to write the read only. Okay, so it's redoing it. Okay. Ready, it's ready. Hit copy to your skills on the card above to install it. Let's do it. You paste in mix of, so here's what the skill does end to end once installed. You paste in any mix of ideas, bullet list, casual notes, links, comments you saved, and we'll score each one against all the principles. Okay. And then it's going to tell me why. Any idea missing stories, get specific narrative tailored to the exact idea, not generic advice. When you're ready, just say, let's create titles, and we can build the next layer, turning your top ranked ideas into the same principles. So we're going to do the same exact thing here. So now we're going to go back to the principles. I'm going to say, I love that. So let's look at the customize and let's look at skills. And now we have it. Perfect. Let me check what it looks like on my computer. Good times. So it has the skill in the folder, and it's included in my Claude account too. Okay, cool. Let's go back. So that's great. So now what we're going to do, we're going to add one more. I'm in the marketing department. I want to get ready creating titles for top ranked ideas to turn them into high performing YouTube titles. Get ready creating titles. Okay, cool. My pain point is turning top ranked ideas into high performing YouTube titles based on the 6 steps principles. Put that there. Okay. Example, creating high performing YouTube titles. The steps I take are, let's do this. Taking the top ranked ideas and thinking about potential titles that aligns with them. Reviewing the right kind of lens that I should be considering. And this is from the book entitled Contagious: Why Things Catch On. Create 3 variations of potential titles for each of the top ranked ideas. Select top 2 titles variations for each top ranked idea. Okay, cool. Now what I'm going to add is which step is best candidate for a skill. Cool. So now it's thinking. Oh, Hey, thanks so much for watching. What are we working on? Great question. We are working on Claude Code and creating skills for content creation to speed up the process. Right now, this is taking a process of probably close to like 2 hours to go through all of the different steps using different ChatGPT, like different GPTs in ChatGPT. So now we're using Claude Code to expedite this for ourselves and then also show others. But this is a part that overwhelms me a lot of the time throughout the week. So working on that. Great question. So it says, great question to think about through carefully before building anything. Let me break down each step. Taking ranked ideas, thinking about the titles. This is really just receiving the output, reviewing the lens, this reference knowledge. It's already baked into the idea ranker. 3, creating variations. This is where the real repeatable structure work begins. Given a ranked idea, generating 3 variations. 4, selecting the top 2. So the best candidates is step 2, 3, and 4. They're two halves of the same task: generate, then evaluate, and separating them into what. And it says, in separating them would create an awkward handoff mid-work. One skill that generates 3 optimized variations and then recommends the top 2 with clear reasoning is cleaner, faster, and more useful than 2 separate steps. It also plugs directly into the idea ranker. The output of that skill becomes the input of this one. Want me to start mapping out what the skill should do before we build it? Yes. Yes. Help me create a skill. No, I'm just going to say yes. Also, too, let me know what you're working on. If this is helpful. If you've used Claude Co-work or Claude Code, let me know. So it says, let me map out the full skill design before we build so we're aligned exactly what needs to happen. So here's what the skill will do. Number 1, input the top rank ideas from the idea ranker with the scores already attached. The skill picks up right where the one left off. Generate 3 variations per idea. Recommend the top 2. Same approach as idea ranker. One additional thing worth building, a short note on what the title is missing and how to compensate in the thumbnail of the first 30 seconds. A title strong on practical value but weak on emotion can still perform if the thumbnail creates emotional hook. I'll take that. Does that match what you had in mind? Yes, that matches what I had in mind. Help me create a skill that helps me find the top 3 titles, narrow it down, give me feedback, and also thumbnail suggestions. See, one additional thing worth building. A short note on what the title is missing, how to compensate it. Yeah. I think it's got it. I'm just going to say, yeah, work on that. Okay, it's mapping out the skill now. Okay, it's thinking. We like that. We like that. All right, it's writing the skill. It's writing the skill for us. Okay, writing the file. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. All right. Launching all 6 runs in parallel now. 3 with skills, 3 baseline, so it's testing itself, which is pretty interesting. Okay. Okay, compacting our conversations so we can keep chatting. Okay. It says with skill 100% across all 3, without skill 33% average, generates too many variations, skips the labeling, and misses production notes entirely. Let me aggregate and generate the viewer. Okay, cool. We'll take it. Now, I will say, I mean, that makes sense why it would miss it, right? Because especially if I'm not saying in that command, like, use this as a reference. So I wonder, that number, I think could be misleading with that, how bad the change is. That's what I'm thinking. Again, that's just an assumption. I don't know. It's something to watch. Okay, it's finishing up. Okay, both files are ready for you. Okay, let's take a look. The review the HTML. Let you flip through all 3 cases with skills and without. Take your top rank ideas as input. Okay, the skill is ready to install whenever you're ready. See how it works though. No prompt found. Okay, this is with a skill. Idea 1, Zapier plus Claude workflow for automated client onboarding. Option 1, save 4 hours a week on client onboarding. Here's how. Front loads the concrete time savings that the ICP cares most about, making the value proposition possible to miss. Option 2, Zapier plus Claude setup most agencies haven't tried. Positions the workflow as an insider technique. That's forward thinking. Okay, interesting. Also tells me the length. Option 3. Now look, it says option 1 recommended as a primary, 3 as a backup. Why 1 wins? It leads with the exact output, 4 hours. Let's see what that looks like. Save 4 hours a week. Interesting. Option 3, strongest emotional attention by starting with pain. Stop handling onboarding emails. I like that. Variations. I automated my onboarding. 4 hours saved. It's interesting. Interesting. What do you think about the output? Any issues? Submit all reviews. Interesting. Very interesting. It's already making it a small like application right there. Let's copy it. Copy to your skills. So now I'm going to ask it. Now that I have the 2 skills, the YouTube idea ranker and the YouTube title generator skills, how do I use them effectively in Claude Cowork? Give me a step-by-step example of how I can effectively call the skills and use this in my workflow. Feed your raw ideas to the idea ranker. Start a new co-work session and paste your raw materials. The skill triggers automatically when you drop in ideas and ask for ranking help. Here are my ideas this week. Rank them. Example prompt. Okay. That's it. The idea ranker will score them. Step 2. Let's create titles for my top 3. To save the conversation and say something like that. Idea 1. Full loop in 1 session. Rank these ideas. Ranked list. Create titles for my top 3. Okay. I'm gonna do that. Be specific in your raw input. A few tips. Be specific in your raw inputs. The most context you give, where the idea comes from, who asked it, what problems it solves, the stronger the scoring. Comment, quote, or client pain point in your own words beats a bare basic topic. Yeah. Trusting the ranking, but read the why. Comparative reasoning. It's most important. It tells you why it wins. Use the production note. The thumbnail guidance from the title is there for your video editor or designer can start working before your script. Don't skip it. If an idea gets a story reframe suggestion, pay attention to it. The stories are the hardest principle to hit naturally, and a strong first-person story hook is often what separates a 50K view to a 500K. I like it. How can I also think about the framing or the hook for the video? The first 15 seconds is so important for the video. How can I think about the hook and what I should consider for it? I'm going to ask him one more thing about my writing the newsletter too. Says the hook is where most viewers are won or lost. This actually is the piece that connects most directly to your step. Because your title got someone to click, now the hook has one job: make them feel like they're leaving. Make them feel like leaving would be a mistake. The three-part structure of the strong hook: pattern interrupt, the stakes, the tease. How this connects to your steps. Your hook is essential with emotion and story. Right now, your production notes with the title gives you the thumbnail and hook direction. That's a good start, but a dedicated hook step where you take the ranked idea, production notes would like scripting would process. Let's see. Something that takes the winning production notes, variations, and pick one to write an actual video. Want me to build that? Yes. That way we have 3 concrete skills. 1 for the idea, 1 for the titles, 1 for the hooks. Bang, bang, bang. And so what we're going to do is see how this works, but also too, we're going to do another video probably to show like the before and after. How is this affecting our CTR? How is this affecting our videos in conversions to our different programs and everything? Yeah. Show before and after. Let me know, is the music too loud? Or is it all right? Okay, so it's doing this right now. 6 sub agents, 3 with skills, 3 without. Let's see. take a look here. Okay. Everything I need to grade, now grading. So take a look. Then we'll have two main ones. We'll have three now. Something went wrong. You've hit your limits. Oh, resets at 7 a.m. Okay. Well, I think we did pretty great. We've got 2 skills already. We'll come back. It says resets at 7 a.m. Okay. All right. So I think we did pretty good today. Got 2 things done for the 2 different skills. Also, let me make sure, customize. So I have 3 different skills right here. AI newsletter. Let's see. We'll paste URLs with notes, and then it's going to create the subject line, preview, opening hook, docs takes. Yeah. Format rules, 1 thought per line, not 1 sentence per line, 1 beat per line, short lines. I like that. All right, so we're going to try this out, and we're going to do this once we get, more credits and everything. So thank you, everybody, for watching and seeing what we've got cooking over here with the new setup. We're trying out new things. Let me know if maybe the lighting is too much. Maybe, I don't know. But again, thanks so much for watching. If you like this kind of stuff, make sure that you like and subscribe. We're going to be doing this every single week. We're going to be doing a lot of late night shows like this. And again, thank you so much for all the support, hanging around, being here, and asking questions. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Hey, thanks so much for being here, everybody. We'll be back again later. And thank you so much for everyone's time and effort. If you're using these tools, make sure you let me know. If you want us to use OpenClaw, Claude Code, all those things, let us know. Will you do another live on Claude? Yes, I will. So we'll be back tomorrow about using Claude Code and how we're doing it. So stay tuned. Let us know what you're looking to build this with, all those things. And again, like and subscribe, turn on notifications so you know when we go live again. And thank you so much for your time and attention.